Those are the 13 American Conference schools who will look to compete for an American Conference championship come March. 10 teams make the tournament. The first 2 get by, so a lot on the line during the regular season. Here in Birmingham, we are at the American Tipoff, and let's talk a little bit about the East Carolina Pirates. They finished 10-8 in league play last season, which was their best conference record since joining the American. They rallied at the end of the regular season, winning 3 of their final 4 games before heading into the American Conference tournament. Their offense was led by R.J. Felton, who the Pirates lost to graduation. But have no fear, Pirates fans. The third leading scorer and human highlight reel, Jordan Riley, is back in Greenville, along with fourth-year head coach Michael Schwartz. We have Jordan Riley and Gio Emajuru with us on set here. Guys, welcome to the show.
How you doing? Thank you for having us.
Now, Jordan, let's start with you because you had quite the season last year. I feel like every week we were featuring one of your dunks on top plays. So for you, as you come into this year, what are some things that you worked on to improve to an even higher level?
I've been working on my three-point shot a lot, my post, my mid-range post game, and pretty much just being a better guard, passing in addition to finding my teammates.
All right, Gio. So, you're transferred from George Mason. 6'10". So when you went into the portal, what were you kind of looking for? Obviously, you're choosing East Carolina and Coach Michael Schwartz. What were you kind of looking for when you were in the portal?
I was pretty much just looking for a place to call home for my final year. A place where they're going to let me be me and have an impact.
So I got to hit you with a couple. Here's the tough part, Jordan. Ready? So we guys got a bunch of new faces. Even though you have a few names, got a bunch of new faces. To where you got to give me like a one-liner of what this player actually brings to the table. You ready? So first one, Eli Delorier.
Shooter. Yeah. He's an amazing guy. Amazing guy. Great.
Shooter, an amazing guy.
Yeah,
that's a good teammate to have right there.
If you need me to help at all, I'll step in and help a little bit.
Shooter, an amazing teammate. We got to take that. Okay. What about Corey Calker?
Tough and physical.
Okay. Isaiah Mbang.
Crafty and savvy.
Crafty and savvy.
Ooh,
Love
I
that.
like that.
Patty D'Arcy.
He's tough and physical too.
Tough and physical.
Shooter, sniper.
Coach, a lot of toughness conversations with your guys right now.
Well, we did want to be a little bit bigger, a little bit more physical going into this season. That was a big part of our offseason. I thought the coaching staff did a great job. Obviously, as you can see, there's no lack of muscle up here sitting next to me in terms of these two guys. So we wanted it to be like, so a lot of the guys that we brought in, physicality and size was really important for us.
And you also, it's a constant conversation. Sometimes I feel like a broken record. I don't mean to, but just the change in the portal and everything, it's almost like you're resetting a whole roster. But you got 2 starters back and a guy who came off the bench and played significant minutes for you. That's such a rarity in college basketball. It's just, assuming that speaks to the culture that you're creating.
I hope so, and I think it also speaks to the young men that did come back. I think anytime, and the coaching staff did such a great job in recruiting over the last few years, we've had an opportunity to keep 60, 70% of our roster each year. And, one thing that we're proud of is, Jordan's a 3-year starter in this league. He started 2 years previously, and, we have great expectations from this year. But we've always had our leading returning scorer, whether it was R.J. Felton for 2 seasons, and now Jordan Riley, that had remaining eligibility, didn't exhaust it through graduation. But I think it speaks to the university, the city of Greenville, ECU, our leadership at ECU, and hopefully the development and the experience that our guys are having in our program.
And Jordan is one of those preseason All Conference honorees, so you just mentioned how important it is to have him back just from a physical perspective, but how about from a leadership perspective? How important is it to have those guys back on your roster when they've been in your system and know how you operate as a head coach?
It's huge, and I get asked a lot about Jordan in terms of, hey, what's his role going to be now this year as somebody that comes back? And really the answer is quite this. He's the same player. Jordan has always been a team basketball player. He's improved in every area, but he doesn't have to change how he plays. But the two things that he has to be ready for now is, one, for there to be a target on his back consistently, and amongst others, but now it will be on his when we go in and defensive preparation. But it's his leadership every day. It's what he does vocally in practice. It's what he talks about in the locker room. Us three have been sitting here at this media event watching everything, talking about what our aspirations are in the non-conference and then into conference play, albeit it's so long away. But he can now voice that to our team as somebody that's not only been through it, but he's someone that has real expectations and responsibility for this season.
It used to be cliche when we would be up here, 5 or 6 years ago talking about, hey, this school, this program has a great player development program. But now players bounce around all over the place. But you guys have still kept that and have that. And players that stay, that you've alluded to, they get better every single year, almost like they don't even have a choice. Like they just get better. Can you speak to the player development program that you've created at East Carolina?
Well, I appreciate your recognition on that, because it is something we take very seriously at ECU, and I think everybody in this conference does, and I think there's so many great programs that do focus on player development. But we know who we are, and we know that's a big piece of it. And whether we get a C.J. Walker for one season, we still treat it the same way, and it's a daily focus on it with our coaches in terms of player development. I give all the credit to Rick Barnes at Tennessee from Coach Barnes. I learned that when I was with him at Texas to Tennessee. And so we try and run our program the exact same way in terms of that daily development. And it's a big piece of our recruiting. But the flip side is we have to bring guys in that want that are hungry for that. And the two guys sitting up here really were excited about that coming here. Gio for one season and Jordan. And I think that's a big reason why Jordan decided to come back, because he saw his game grow. And R.J. Felton was a great example in his 3 years in the program and what he did improving each season. So it's something we definitely don't hide. We don't just talk about it. It's something that we really want to put into action.
Gio, and for you, how important was it for you when you saw that player development piece to make you want to come to East Carolina?
Yeah, no, it was very important. That was one of the main reasons why I wanted to come here. That was one of the main things that was preaching to me when I came on my visit too. So, yeah, I was very grateful for that.
And then
Jordan, so expectations, we have to talk about it, right? It's media day. It's one of those things that it's fun to talk about, and you get the microphone. What are we and ECU fans are expecting from you guys this season?
They're expecting a lot from us, pretty much just winning a lot of games and just getting to that conference championship, winning that, and then going to the NCAA tournament and going, advancing and hopefully try to compete for a national championship. That's what they're going to expect from us.
So, Coach, those aspirations you just talked about in the non-conference and conference, are they what Jordan just told us here?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And, we put a schedule together that we think is as challenging of a non-conference schedule as East Carolina has ever had. And quite honestly, right at the very top of this conference in terms of non-conference schedule and degree of difficulty. But it wasn't done on accident. That was something that we attacked in the spring before we even knew exactly what our roster would look like. But we knew that we want our program to take another step. And part of it is playing a national schedule, because we want our program to be a national collegiate basketball program. So as we go into it, we know we're going to have to be ready every night. It doesn't matter. It starts day one. Doesn't matter who you play. You got to be ready. But the opportunities there in the non-conference to prepare us for hopefully a run at a conference championship. The rankings, the preseason rankings, it's like you said, they're fun, and it's fun to talk about. The reality is that there's 13 programs here that want to finish first. And no matter if they're picked first or picked 13th or anywhere in between, everybody has the same goal right now as we're sitting here at this American Tipoff, that we want to win an American championship. So there's no doubt that the ambition to go out and attack that is there, and I think these guys just talked about that.
You can feel the competitiveness coming out from all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, guys.
The East Carolina men, that was them right there. We have their counterparts in the East Carolina women.